And so tell me more. Like I want to know a little bit more of the details. So you told me a little bit in the past about your ex. So, why don't you share with our listeners kind of, what he did for work, why it created such a stress on your co-parenting, and kind of how you all, as part of this process, were able to come together, because we really want to hear from you in terms of your expertise, because a lot of people don't have these easy lives, right? Where like, oh, two parents that work in 9 to 5, you can, do 2 days, or, 1 week on, 1 week off. Like that's just not reality. You have people who are working in all sorts of capacities, and they have to come together to create a plan. So tell
Yeah.
me, tell us a little bit more.
We got divorced in the state of Ohio, and you have to have a parenting plan. You have to file a plan with the court, right? So I sat down with my attorney, and we she pulls up the typical plan of like Monday every other weekend, and Wednesday every other one. I don't know, all of the things that's like the I guess the normal plan that people use. And I just looked at her and said, this is never going to work. My ex-husband is a college basketball coach, and he travels constantly. There's was really at that time, I think, only 1 or 2 months of the year, not even consecutive months of the year, that he did not travel. So he was always gone, schedule changing all the time. And so I was like, there's no way that we're going to be able to keep a schedule. We have to have a schedule. I get that, but we're not going to be able to keep a schedule. So I knew at that point that if I wanted our daughter to have quality time with her dad, I was going to have to be flexible about what the schedule looked like and making changes to the schedule. And that was really difficult, because I think going into it, I was trying to grab onto the things of divorce that were going to be positive. And I was like, okay, well, we'll have a schedule, and I'll be able to have this time for myself, and I'll be able to plan. And no, that didn't happen for me. So it took a lot of communication. And I think even working out our very non-traditional schedule took some time as well, because at the beginning, I was just taking on the responsibility of being the flexible one. And I was, sort of letting him make changes to plans like at the last minute. And then after a while of that, I was like, wait a second, this isn't necessarily fair to me either. Like, we should be able to make I should be able to have a little bit of lead time with the schedule, right? So then we worked it out to where we would talk of every Sunday and like, okay, what's going on this week? What does this week look like for you? And so the day-to-day schedule was where we really had to be flexible and really had to get creative. As far as like holidays and things like that, those were set in our parenting plan, and we did very much stick to those. But even with that, I think the thing about these parenting plans and really being amicable is understanding that life happens. You can have the best plan and life happens, and just being practical and reasonable and compassionate about things. We were living in Ohio, and I didn't have any extended family in Ohio. So if my mom came to visit or my sister came to visit, even if he was in town and it was technically his time, he was like, well, of course Sammy can be with you. I want her to have time with her extended family. And so it was, those kinds of things where, of course you could stick to the letter of your parenting plan and say, no, this is my time and this is your time. But at the end of the day, who is that hurting? That was the question that I had to ask myself. Like, yes, we had this parenting plan, and I would have been well within my rights to say, you know what? This is the parenting plan. This is your day. Can you get her that day? No? Oh, well, sorry. But that only hurts her. Then she doesn't get a chance to have a relationship with her dad and to really build a relationship with her father. And I know that is something that's really important for her. It's something that's really important for every child, especially when you have a parent who is there and wants to have a relationship with their child. What kind of mom am I to stand in the way of that? And if that means that I have to be a little bit more flexible, and that, I have to have a little bit less of a set schedule than other people, well, that's what you do as a parent.